How much does a business speaker cost? I'm talking like a professional speaker, business speaker. You're looking to hire one and you're trying to say to yourself, how much am I going to spend? Nobody's really talking about it on their websites. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about what you can expect to spend on a business keynote speaker. In fact, I'm going to explain to you the 5 different levels that I've seen over the course of my career, which is now over 12 years. I've done hundreds of events around the world and give you a sense for the price range and what you could expect for each one of these groups. So let's get into it right now. Okay, so we're going to look at 5 levels of professional business speakers. So you've got level 1. Those are the speakers that are either newer or they're in an industry that is very, very niche, that has a lower budget, let's say. Now, typically those level 1 speakers are gonna be in that $2,500 to $10,000 range. So that's level 1. I was there myself for the first few years of business, okay? And so that's one first thing to keep in mind, level 1, and that's $2,500 to $10,000. They might not be as known, they might be a little bit newer. Their skill level may or may not be as high, it just depends on who you find, right? Or it might be a very niche industry. It's level 1. Level 2 for how much does a business speaker cost? And again, we're talking about a professional speaker here, someone that does it for a living. With level 2, now this person has been in the game for at least a few years. They've gotten dozens probably of events under their belt. They're starting to become known in the industry. They're bringing that value. Generally, they're in that $10,000 to $20,000 range, okay? Now, when I say this, this could be for a 45 or 60-minute keynote. You might find the person is 90 minutes. You might even see that within that price range, somebody that's doing a half day or even a full day. Beyond a full day, it's probably gonna be more than that, but typically that's what you're gonna see. Again, it depends on the industry, it depends on the event. So much of this is it depends, but I'm trying to give you a pretty good sense as to what you can expect, and I'm trying to give you a sense for how much I myself charge, okay? So let's look at level 3. So we had level 1, that was $2,500 to $10,000. Level 2, get that more experience, skill level comes up now. You're looking at that $10,000 to $20,000. Level 3, now level 3, and this is the majority of my professional peers that have been in the game for a long time. Currently, you're gonna find that most, without looking at some like additional extras, and I'm not including here things like adding books or adding additional services or adding any consulting. I'm talking about the speaking event itself. Typically, you're in that $20,000 to $40,000 range. That is also the range that I fall in. Now, you might say, well, Marcus, what dictates that? Well, for me, that range actually varies depending on a variety of things. So for example, the time of the year is gonna dictate what I charge, because some times of the year are more expensive than others based on demand. So there's certain months that everybody's doing conferences, and I know if I say yes to someone, I'm gonna say no to someone else. Whereas there's other times of the year, like July, let's say, where the rates are actually better. So I do this, not everybody does it, but I do it on a sliding scale based on demand pricing, okay? Now, I'm gonna be in that range, and it's also what's gonna dictate where you fall in that range is, are you looking for 45 minutes? Are you looking for a half day? Are you looking for a full day? Are you looking for some follow-ups afterwards? So once again, that's why there's probably gonna be that range. Many of the professional, longer-term, high-quality, high-standard speakers that you're gonna find in the business world are gonna be in that $20,000 to $40,000 range. Now let's look at level 4. Level 4 is in that $40,000 to $75,000 range. Now this person, they probably have a couple of like major bestsellers maybe. They're just under what it is to be a celebrity. They're almost like a pseudo celebrity in their industry, of course. They have gotten to the point where they are able to demand that higher price, that $40,000 to $75,000 price, okay? And so you're gonna see a much smaller percentage in that world of business speaking in that 40 to 75 range, but we are seeing that the lower end of that range starting to increase, okay? And then finally, you've got level 5, and this is the celebrity person, the person that's written the bestsellers that maybe start off in business, but then now you're seeing them on the news. This is the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world. They're probably gonna be in that $75,000 to $200,000 range, okay? So $75,000 to $200,000. They might be more than that, but when we're talking about the Gary V's, we're talking about the Seth Godins, we're talking about anybody that you can think of that has just written one of these incredible, like multi-million purchased book bestsellers. There's a chance they could be in that range as well. And typically they have to be a pretty solid speaker as well. As we know, Gary Vaynerchuk, he's a great speaker. Simon Sinek, another example of someone that would be in this range. Really great speaker, written multiple books. And so that's at level 5. They've now gone from just being business to more of a celebrity in the rest of the world, okay? And so hopefully now this gives you a sense for how much does a business speaker actually cost. This is one of those subjects that no speakers actually like to talk about. And if you know me, if you know my content, this is something that I do. I teach companies all over the world how to discuss cost and price in a way that they teach their industry and help everyone understand what the value is in their industry for pricing, what drives cost up, what drives cost down, and hopefully this helps you understand that as well. And now you too have a sense for how much you're gonna spend if I come out to your event. To give you an exact number, of course, we need to jump on a call and we can look at some different packages. We can get creative. There's sometimes sponsors you can get. There's all types of ways to meet the pricing, the budget demands, but I would love to work with you. And so if you have a question, if you want to have a discussion, just fill out the form on my site. Let's have a conversation. And I look forward to speaking with you very soon.